What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing, man? What's up? Welcome. Let me see this, man. Let me see if this fucking thing, like, they got this motherfucking leaf blower out. Motherfucker, it's not even fall, bro. To this goddamn complex of mine. Like, it's not even fall. And y'all got the goddamn leaf blowers going every other day. Like, bro, what are we doing? It's pissing me off, man. I'm trying to start this shit, and all I hear is ring. Like, bro, the hell? But welcome, man. Welcome. How's everybody doing today, man? How's everybody doing? Welcome, y'all. Happy Monday, man. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a beautiful day so far. I hope y'all had an amazing weekend, a fun-filled weekend. I hope everybody is having, like I said, a great start to their week so far. You know, we end the weeks how we start them. So let's start everything great and we'll end the week great. So again, thank you guys for joining me and welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball, sports, and any topic that comes our way as accurate as possible. And as always, it's your host, your boy, Jayson Estrera. Now today, we are going to be talking about the man himself, Kevin fucking Durant. You know my name, Mr. Kevin Durant, if anybody remembers that. Breaking the record for men's and women's USA basketball teams for the most points ever. Also, I think he had he beat Carmelo Anthony's rebounding stat as well. So we are going to be talking about Kevin Durant. We're also going to be talking about the shocking loss that Canada had at the hands of France. I couldn't tell you what I was watching for a good portion of that game. I was mind blown at what I was seeing. And we'll also be talking about the Ice Cube challenge. The fact that he had put out a challenge against the gold medalists from the 3-on-3 tournament at the Olympics. So before we get into any of that, let's get into a little bit of a fun topic now. If y'all don't know, there's content creators right now on Twitch, on YouTube, that are basically, if anybody remembers Dateline NBC, where they would go and catch predators or whatnot, So this is one of those instances. Akon was singing "Locked Up." That's crazy. Now, Akon singing "Locked Up" while you're about to get locked up is diabolical work. That is some sick shit. And the fact that that's happening, wow. And you can say what you want. Some of these guys, some of these content creators are doing more work than your local police force. Let's just call it what it is. Going out and getting these motherfucking predators. Not allegedly, no, these people are actually doing this and are terrible people. So, it's one of those not all heroes wear capes type of shit. But I can't believe that Akon was there. It's just that wasn't what you were expecting to see on the timeline, man. But there it was. Now, in terms of getting locked up, for the foreseeable future, Lauri Markkanen will be locked up in Utah with the Utah Jazz after he has signed his 5-year, $238 million contract. So, with this news, Golden State Warrior fans are in shambles. They've been trying to get this man for God knows how long. I'm sure they have called the Utah Jazz numerous times. I'm sure their offers have changed over and over and over again. And yet, he signs with the Utah Jazz. So like I said, Warriors fans in shambles. However, when you look at this signing, right, and it's great. I think Lauri Markkanen was very promising when he came in, even though he had a rough start in those first couple years. I saw him. He had size, mobility. He could shoot. He's obviously added on some strength and some weight, which goes along with some of his success. But like I said, I thought he was already solid coming in, right? And he's proving that. However, you are now going to be asked to be the guy. And between him and Jordan Clarkson, I worry if both of them are just a tier below these all-stars and superstars. Obviously, they're very talented players, very skilled players, could put up numbers in this league. But to take that leap, I do think is not so easy. Right? Where's me? It's not easy. It doesn't just happen. And it's important to understand how these things work, right? One second you could be just one of the guys and be performing up to this level, right? And And then once you're given the responsibility as the guy on the team, things can shift, right? Those two things are not the same. And like I said, he's been playing, he's played up the last 2 years since joining Utah, which is great. Would love to see his rebounding numbers go up closer to double digits and average a double-double. Points, I guess you would hope will go up. But like I said, now when you are tasked with having the responsibility of carrying an entire organization on your back, we'll see how he responds to that. I would love to see him flourish. I think I would love to see any player flourish. But like I said, we'll have to see. And with his co-star Jordan Clarkson also having to bear that responsibility, and he's mostly a scorer, I'm interested to see what this looks like moving forward. I really was hoping that Lauri Markkanen can get paired with an established star so that he doesn't have to carry all that weight. But we'll see. He'll either shine and come through and pull through, or he could still put up his numbers and do great. But now when you're being graded or critiqued as a number one option go-to player on the team, those lenses are a little bit different. So curious to see how he responds. Hopefully he does great, man. Like I said, I think he's got a lot of potential, and has had a lot of potential. So moving on really quickly now.
55-40.
Let's take a look at this right here. So the Philippines are really experimenting with a 4-point line. They're doing this for one of their cups, and there's still a 3-point line. So let's take a look at this.
9 is the count. Yan concerned about this.
Wow.
Tuloy, apat na naman ito.
So with that, can a 4-point line work in the NBA? And I'll be honest with you, I would hate to see a 4-point line. The NBA at this point has already been trending in terms of the amount of 3-pointers. It's not a good trend, in my opinion, right? And adding a 4-point line would only worsen that situation, because with that distance, there is no reason to be any closer. You might as well get the extra point. And on top of that, you're extending the defense even more, creating more spacing. So I don't like it. I mean, we've seen it in the Big Three. Obviously, they're doing it over here. It does bug me when we see the most athletic players in the NBA and they're not utilizing it, getting dunks, getting these highlights. When growing up, that was the thing. Let's dunk on everybody. Let's do some crazy lays. As opposed to now, and it's everyone just passes the ball around and shoots a bunch of threes. And I fear that if this were to get added, that this would promote just shooting even more threes than they already do, and they already shoot a shit ton of them. Like I said, I if the NBA has been paying attention, they would see the way that some people have been, or the way I think a good amount of people have been reacting to these 3-pointers, and hopefully they would never add this, because I don't like it at all. Personally, I do not like it at all. So, excuse me. Moving forward, I don't want to see that shit in the NBA. I don't even think we should see that shit in the PBA. The other part in it too is, if you're a player and you're a true historian of the game, trying to be one of the greats, right? To add something like that would now put an asterisk next to your name. Because when you break a scoring record, or when you break a points record or whatnot, Now there's that asterisk. And I wonder if players would go against that or be for that. I think a lot of them would go against it. I think a lot of them would say keep the game as close to how it was before, so that when I put my numbers up against the history books, we can compare them, as opposed to having a bunch of asterisks next to my stats. That's what I think a lot of them would say, but I would be, like I said, I would be curious as to how they actually react to that. Now, moving right along, and I'm sorry guys, we're going a little bit quick today. We do have a 2:30 game, a 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central game coming up in just 25 minutes. So we are moving right along. Now, in more news as well, this was massive.
Of course.
Let's take a look at this right here.
First, the NBA is over USA basketball. You know, that's one thing that's a issue with why we don't have the best 3-on-3 athletes in the world in Paris. And they have this weird point system that they make these players go through, but they don't make the NBA players go through it. So we feel like they should have the big three players in the Olympics. We do have the best 3-on-3 players in the world, and it's not even close. You know, I mean, we're so confident, Pat, that we want to challenge the gold medal winners to a game. You know, we can play right before our championship game in Boston, August 18th. We'll fly them in, and they can play against our all-stars, and we'll see who's the best in the world. But
okay, sweet. I'll put up $100,000 to the winning team. I'll put up $100,000 to the winning team.
Yeah, let's go. And this is something that I was calling for from the beginning. And I'm glad that Ice Cube has set out a challenge. And just a side note really quick. The way Ice Cube has managed this league, the way he's chose to promote and market it, has been phenomenal. Caitlin Clark, we all knew she wouldn't do it. Just throwing her name in the hat right before their WNBA season and during that draft period, right before the Big Three season started. Great publicity. Didn't harm anyone, didn't do anything but start a conversation and put eyes on the Big Three. And now, he didn't say it while the USA men's were playing, right? Said it after they got eliminated. After, I don't know if that's before or after the Netherlands had already won the golden 3-on-3. But to throw his name in the hat and his league's name in the hat, whether they do it or not, is great publicity, great marketing. So with that part, kudos to Ice Cube, because he is making the right moves to get this league to where he wants it to be. So that was great. Now on the competition part, this is amazing. This is amazing. Let's have them play against guys that do 3-on-3 basketball. They lowered this is not the same Big Three that was around a couple years ago, where everybody's 40 plus, bad back, can't jump. No. This is not the same thing. And I agree with him, right? All of that stuff with how to qualify, how to even get into it. We don't even bother the NBA guys. We don't even need them. I don't think so. I seriously don't think so. And I think that the Big Three can put together a group of 3 guys that can legitimately compete. I'm going to just call it what it is. Because we've seen NBA guys dominate basketball. And some of these guys are freshly removed. Maybe they it just didn't work out in the NBA. Some of them had long careers, good careers, and are balling still. And if you are worried about the competition from the other guys, I'm sorry to tell you this, but a lot of them look like the older guys on the national teams, the 5-on-5 national teams. Are they dead ass? Bro. These guys cannot be serious, bro. Like, I am, bro. I'm just trying to hear this. Alright. You know what? Bro. I'm trying to figure out if I should just keep this shit going, because these motherfuckers are just always doing this shit. Or do I just fucking cut the stream off for the next 20 minutes? Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, this shit actually, it's not even the fucking fall, man. Like, it's what the fuck do we got leaf blowers for? Like what the fuck? Acting like motherfuckers don't work from home. Fuck you guys. God, these guys are fucking irritating, man. What the fuck are you guys doing? This shit pisses me the fuck off, man. But anyway, sorry. Just these goddamn people, man. They always doing this shit. There's no leaf on there. I was out earlier. Not a single piece of fucking leaf is on the ground, bro. But they want to do this shit right now. Anyway, I do think this should happen. They should put some money up. I'll be honest with you. I doubt the gold medalists do it, because they're not going to jeopardize their reputation for a team that wasn't even in the Olympics. And I think it's funny how Ice Cube said, "Oh, let it be a friendly competition," knowing damn well he gonna parade his guys if they beat the gold medalist team. So I thought that was funny. I know he would count that shit as a gold right there. But I would love to see them in the Olympics. And I think it's important that he does this now and plants the seed now, so that they can start working on getting these guys in there for the next in 4 years. So I would love to see it happen. I would love to see them get there and actually compete, so we could see the best 3-on-3 guys. Because let's just be honest, those guys were not it for USA. They were not it. They were 6-21. Are you guys dead ass? 6-21? 6? Nah, bro, that's crazy. I'm sorry, that's crazy. Now, yesterday, I fully expected, I was hoping for a tight game, but I fully expected Canada to win. But instead, Canada got eliminated by France. And before, if you didn't see the game and you didn't know any better, you'd probably say, "Oh, fucking France was they did this behind, Wemby had a ball game, he was doing his thing." But no, really, it started with Cornier, who had 20 points. And, Yabusele. They were the catalysts for this team. Inside out, really. And they pulled the victory off, 82-73. And I really felt like they won this game in that first quarter. Because they won the first quarter 23-10. At one point, it was 5-19. And if Canada, I think, would have put up a fight or found rhythm a little bit earlier, the rest of the game looks a little bit different. Because in the second half, Canada beat France. Third quarter, 21-16. Fourth quarter, 23-21. So what is that? 37-46 to 44. Sorry. Canada beat them. The difference in the game really was that first quarter, because the second quarter was a lot closer, 22-19. France beat them. And that's really where they gave the game away. The lead was so big for too much for them to come back from, especially in the Olympics where there's just not as much cohesiveness. One guy isn't going to shoot the ball every time, even though Shea did end up with 27 and shot 19 times. Jamal Murray, 3 of 13 for 7 points. Ouch. But I really thought that was the difference of the game, and it was shocking to me that, Wembanyama went 2 for 10 and 7 points. He was a factor, but not on offense. Not the way we've seen. He shot awful. It just wasn't a good game for Victor Wembanyama. He was solid, but it just wasn't a great game. And when you look at this Canada team, they got bronze last time in the FIBA World Cup, I believe, right? This is they underplayed in this sense. We've been fully expecting them to, like I said, be able to take this team down. A guard-oriented team with no size. And then France actually played to their matchup. Can you believe that? France is the one that made the adjustment and adjusted to Canada by taking Rudy Gobert out. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And still, Canada lost. So let's get right into that now, actually. Because Rudy Gobert only played 3 minutes in this game. And it was shocking to me in the sense of, obviously he has all of his accolades, but you couldn't play him when Wemby wasn't on the floor. They were playing Lesort more, and Yabusele obviously was getting pretty much all of the minutes. Outside of that, I was a little bit confused. And granted, they won, and I get a lot of people have been saying that even with Team U. Oh, they won. It don't matter. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it does. Because they were saying Rudy has probably never sat for another team. Even with all of us questioning him in the NBA, they've never sat him like that. That does something to people. I'm sorry. It is what it is, especially for this French team. And yes, they won, but that almost makes it worse. It was like, fuck, they were right. So now if he comes out the next game and shits the bed, don't be surprised. If they go and play him a bunch of minutes, missing layups, not getting rebounds, getting dunked on, don't be surprised. He got checked out last game. He's only human, just like the rest of us. And those things impact people, unfortunately. You could choose to ignore it, or you could try to understand it. It's really up to you. But I'm sure this will affect them moving forward. And we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. So, with that being said, we got to put some respect on Kevin Durant, man. We got to put some respect on Kevin fucking Durant. Look at this, man. The GOAT. I mean, that's clean. That's clean, bro. That's clean. The hood, the crew neck, the ball just swag or on a thou. Like, it don't get better than that. And I wanted to discuss this about Kevin Durant because I brought this up before. Kevin Durant might be the biggest disruptor ever. All the names on Team USA that everyone remembers, all the legends. I know a lot of fans don't like Kevin Durant because of what happened with OKC and whatnot, but hey, guess what? He's the leading scorer ever for USA basketball. And I know that probably rubs some people the wrong way because y'all motherfucking hate him. Because y'all don't see how great of a basketball player he is. Y'all would rather look at some of the other shit. But y'all got to put some respect on this man's name. Because had his big ass toe not been that big, we could be having a totally different conversation about Giannis. All of this shit about, oh, Giannis is a champion. The shit that I've been saying about his game needs to grow. That noise, that congregation would be so much louder. Kawhi Leonard. I don't think it's far for me to say if Kevin Durant was healthy and they were there and beat the Toronto Raptors that year, that Kawhi as a one-time champion from the San Antonio Spurs probably wouldn't be getting spoken about the way that he does. And like I said, if it wasn't for Kevin Durant, we'd probably be talking about LeBron James in a totally different light. He'd probably already have 6 championships. Cleveland, it would be crazy. And obviously, he turned the Golden State Warriors from a one-time potentially a one-time championship team to now a quote-unquote dynasty. So I don't think we've ever given Kevin Durant his flowers, the respect that he deserves. Yeah, it's a lot of what ifs. But I think that's how great Kevin Durant is. He's been in these situations to where he could have seriously impacted history. He still got his 2. He's got his MVP. Still one of the greatest scorers, one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Like I said, if you took names out of it and just threw attributes out there, his size, what he could do on the floor, and ask people to choose 10 all time, I promise you he gets chosen every single time. I promise you. There's no way he doesn't. So, let's put some respect on KD, man. Let's put some respect on Kevin Durant, because we gotta give flowers to the people that are playing right now, because before you know it, they not gonna be playing no more, and we're not gonna have the luxury of being able to critique and see these guys day in and day out. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. This is probably his last Olympics, man, and he's been phenomenal. So you gotta give some respect to KD, man. We gotta give some respect, some props to KD. Now, last but not least, with the Noah Lyles victory, this brought back this conversation of are NBA champions world champions. Now, fix that real quick. There is a very simple answer to this. On a technicality, he was right. And the thing about it is, I think it was the way that he delivered it. It was a lot of sauce behind it. It was a lot of, he was trying, it was like he was trying to get a reaction, which is fine. On a technicality, he's totally correct, right? They are NBA champions. It's a league. In track and field, you guys don't have a bunch of different leagues, and then the best people in the world try to get in your league. The best players from these countries try to get into the NBA. And when they get into they're there. Luka Doncic, they're there. Their teammates aren't in the NBA because they're just not good enough. Now, if we were to parade the Boston Celtics against the champions from these other leagues, a lot of fans are missing the part where if we played the best team from the Spanish league or the best team from the Serbian league or Australian league, Jokic is in the NBA. Luka's in the NBA. Patty Mills is in the NBA. Do I have to keep going? A roster of 12 NBA players, 12 to 15 NBA players, the NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. You're telling me that you're going to compare them to the world champion of another league whose team doesn't even have one NBA player? I get the technicality. And we still supported you because, hey, USA. And you did your thing, so congratulations. But it was still wrong. And then Devin Booker comes out with this, it's harder. It was unnecessary, Book, because the difficulty in this don't matter. Like I said, on a technicality, he's correct. But in track and field, you guys don't have different leagues and different championships to where, oh my God, all of a sudden, everyone don't get to play each other. No, in the NBA, the best from the world get to play each other. The best from the world. You have to be so good from the world, from where you are, to even have an opportunity. And as we've seen, the best players from some of these rosters, not even the best players on their teams in the NBA. Just to show you how great the NBA is. So on a technicality, he's correct. But the reality is, he's not. But hey man, that's gonna do it for me for now. I'll be back in just a couple minutes for the women's national for the USA women's game against Nigeria. Like I said, I'll be right back. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit, because it helps the channel out. And again, thank you guys for joining me. Y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, so I appreciate that. Thank you, man. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Peace.